left in me. A lot of fire left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. I've still got a lot of fire left in me.
Good evening. It's another Tuesday evening, and we are live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. I hope you have had a good day so far and your evening is going well. We are live on our Facebook and YouTube channels at Joy 99.7 FM. I'm just guessing that probably someone is watching us live from there. Last week we looked at an interesting topic talking about different productivity tools that we can use in 2024. I'm super excited for us to discuss our topic for today. We are going to unpack the Samsung event that happened just last week Wednesday, so that you can know more about the different devices that were launched and how they can help you, and even how you can also link it to your productivity for 2024. With this said, I have my guest ready and we'll be getting into our discussions pretty shortly. But before we do that, we want to share with you what is happening in the tech space. Just know that Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. We'll be getting into our discussion shortly and we'll be sharing with you what is happening in the tech space. I have my guests here and I'm going to go ahead and introduce them. Right after that, we'll hear what's happening in the tech space and then we'll get into our discussion. So for tonight, I have with me two tech experts and they will be taking us through the different devices that were launched. There were three main devices that were launched. That was the Samsung S24, S24 Plus, and then the S24 Ultra. And we'll just be breaking everything down for you because there are so many things that I know that is going to be beneficial to both you and I. So I have with me Hassan Leo Ishmael. Hassan, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I also have with me Michael Kwadade Kujo. Michael, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We'll be breaking things down today for our listeners when it comes to the three main devices that were launched during the Samsung event. But before we do that, why not take a listen to the emerging tech trends?
Welcome to Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. In today's trends, you can now make audio and video calls on X. Google teases a new Pixel 8 color for release this week. iOS 17.3 is out, adding stolen device protection for your iPhone. And finally, Microsoft Teams meeting reminders are coming to the Windows 11 Start menu. Let's settle for the details. Social media platform X, previously known as Twitter, has recently launched audio and video calling features for Android users after being introduced on iOS last October. And Rick Barragan, an X developer, recommends updating the app to access the new feature. Although all users can receive calls, only X Premium subscribers can make them. Google might be about to expand the color options for its Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro. The Pixel team's social media channels have begun posting teasers for a new mint green color that will be available this Thursday. Apple's iOS 17.3 has introduced stolen device protection requiring biometric authentication to access sensitive data and accounts in case of theft. The new security feature for iPhones requires Face ID or Touch ID for certain actions and puts a time delay on changing your device passcode or Apple ID password. And finally, Microsoft is testing new features for Windows 11's upcoming builds. These include a Teams meeting reminder conveniently located in the Start menu's recommended section and a better way to access Android device photos and screenshots. These updates aim to enhance user productivity and experience. That's all for this week's Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. Catch you same time next week for more.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN just for you. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique just for you package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. What will make you change your phone? Could it be because there's been a new release? I'd like to hear from you. Today we are unpacking the Samsung event that happened just last week, Wednesday. And we would like to hear from you. You can send us your WhatsApp message to the number 055 1111 997 055 1111 997. We are going to unpack everything at the event. I already introduced my guests. If you're just joining us, I have with me Hassan and Michael in the studio. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
And with the 3 main things that were launched, I just want to find out from you first, Michael, which one will you say is your favorite? And possibly why?
For me, it has always been the Ultra.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, every year I always look forward to the new Ultra. Why? Because I think it's the ultimate productivity tool. I use the S Pen a lot in everything that I do. I mean, I'm always taking notes. Probably before I go for shopping, I have to make a list of groceries that I'm interested in purchasing. So I always make my notes. It guides me wherever I go. So for me, that will be one of the main reasons why I like to stick to the Ultra. Of course, there's the other thing about its high-end features, from the camera to the processor to the storage. Everything about it is just, it's like the top of the top when it comes to Samsung's range of devices.
So definitely you would choose the Ultra as your favorite.
Yes.
How about you, Hassan?
Michael has said it all, because it's always the Ultra. The Ultra always has the highest specifications. Especially for someone like me, I actually like to take pictures a lot.
Okay.
I like to game on my phone, because I usually when I get home, I'm tired. I can't now go and turn on the TV that I'm playing a video game. I just lay on my bed, watching a video or playing a game, and then knowing very well that it comes with a high-end processor to run the games very fast. It makes it easier for you to just
If the
use
both
the
of
device.
you are all good, choosing the Ultra as your favorite, who is supposed to now choose the base, the Samsung 24 and then the S24 Plus? But anyway, it's understandable, and I think I like what Michael said earlier in terms of productivity. That's the discussion that we had just last week. So if someone is using the Ultra, then definitely they have a good tool that they can be more productive with their different activities that they do. So these 3 main devices, and we'd just like to break it down, talk about the different features that they both possess. I mean, the 3 of them possess, and then possibly compare them. Because the thing is, the question that I've just even asked, what will make someone change their phone? Is it because there's just a new release, so the person will change their phone? But let me just ask you anyway, what will make you change your phone? Michael first.
Obviously, I would always look out for a new feature that I think will be beneficial to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me it has to do with the feature. It's not just because the new phone is out. If there's a new feature and really it's something I don't see myself using, then I don't think I'll change it. But if I would use it, why not? I would definitely move.
Do that.
Yeah.
Hassan.
Well, with me, it probably has to do with emerging trends. I always like to be updated.
So you're one of those people.
Yeah, so if a new thing comes out, I have to be on. So yeah, basically,
I
that's it
understand.
for me.
For me, I think it's only when I see there's a need.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I may probably just be using the same old device. But when I feel there's a need, sometimes, yes, it has to do with features, improved features, then I'll get another phone. So we want to start with the Galaxy S24 and then break the features down. I'll start with you, Hassan. What are some features that people can look out for us to say these are distinct compared to the old? older models?
The whole concept behind mobile devices is to keep us all connected.
Yes.
You know that, right? And here lies the case. Language is a barrier keeping us connected. Because if I don't understand your language and then you don't understand mine, there's no way we can be connected. You understand? And then one good feature I actually like about this new S24 is the live translation.
Okay, so
You understand?
this is one of the Galaxy AI features. Okay.
You understand? Where I'm able to communicate with you in my language, you understand it in yours, and then you communicate in yours, and I understand it in mine. You understand? And it's real time. That's how cool this features actually is.
Okay, so before we even get to the AI aspect, just like the physical device, I know that we have samples here that probably we can show. So if we can talk about them, like maybe in terms of camera, in terms of the looks, and then we can also talk about some of the software, and then we'll move into the Galaxy AI features. Yes, talks about them. Okay.
Okay.
Michael.
So actually, when you pick an S23 base device and you compare it to an S24 base device, when you look closely, you would see that the S24 base device looks more refined. And if I don't know if you actually know this, but S23 range of devices we released were actually I don't want to use the word perfect, but I really can't find any other word. It was one of those devices that you could really find no wrong with, so a lot of people were always asking, what are we going to do next? Some even said, technology had hit its peak.
Yeah.
And
already.
exactly. But when you look at this device, as I was watching one of the reviews about the device, and the reviewer said it almost looked like we picked the S23 and we dressed it up for the red carpet.
Oh, really?
For the S24. So when you look at it, everything is refined, everything is sleek. Of course, there are some differences. So for example, the S23 base, so let me just take the other way. The S24 base now comes with a battery capacity of 4,200. Yes, 4,200 milliamps. And you can also talk about the material used in making the device. So it still sports that aluminium frame, which was also in the previous one. So that hasn't changed much, but the camera rings, when you look at the camera rings physically, they look more refined, they look a bit different, they actually even look bigger, when compared to the previous one. So yeah, these are some of the things. And then there's actually another thing that has also changed here, the vapor chamber. So the vapor chamber is it's a chamber that is built into the device to assist the device to dissipate heat. Because heat is actually one of the main killer features, or one of the main things that could actually destroy devices. These devices are very powerful, and they are multitasking devices. You do a lot on them at the same time.
Actually.
Exactly. So it's normal for these devices to get heated up quickly. So there was the need to increase the size of the vapor chamber, and that is also key with this new range of devices.
I'm looking at the S24 and the shape and design. I just want to find out, I know this is a Samsung product, but won't Apple people say that Samsung somehow just copied the design that iPhones usually have?
Well, in the tech space, there's nothing like another brand has copied another brand.
Okay.
Technology, once another brand realizes that, oh, this new tech is actually cool, let me just hop on. Now I'll touch on the S24 Ultra.
Okay.
You realize that we had Apple launch the titanium frame for their devices, their Pro device. Titanium is also the strongest metal, and then yet it's the lightest.
Yes.
You understand? And then this S24 is also refined with the titanium frame.
Okay. So just for those who would probably be watching us online, it would be good just to raise it. So what right now we are just showing is the S24. This is the base.
Yes, it's the base.
The S24. Okay. Yeah. And then Hassan is now talking about the S24 Ultra. So we can continue.
Okay. So the build quality has been refined. Now this has titanium frame, meaning it's very durable and very strong. Also, there are some minor things physically you can check. So the speaker notch has been changed. You realize that when you compare with the S23, the speaker, the mouthpiece is different from that of the S23. There are some minor changes, including the volume button, the volume rocker button. You realize that it's now flatter compared to the previous one. And also, like Michael mentioned, the camera rings have now been improved. It's shifted down compared to the S23 as well. So they are just minor changes. You understand? Also, my favorite bit has to do with the new Gorilla Glass armor, which has been introduced on the screen. Meaning that the screen is quite durable compared to the previous device. Now, yes, the screen is durable. However, Samsung is also slapping on a screen insurance just in case something happens. You understand? So you're on the safer side. Yes. So basically, yes. And then this also, because this has the Ultra. This is the Ultra. The vapor chamber on this is actually huge compared to the previous ones. Also, the battery capacity is still the same, 5,000 milliamp. But with a new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, meaning that the battery performance has been enhanced by 41%. You understand? Even though it's the same battery capacity, 5,000 milliamp, it's the same. There's a limit to how you can increase the battery because of the S Pen slot. So you can't actually increase the battery capacity on this particular one. However, with, like Michael said, with the base and then the plus, the battery capacity has been enhanced. So with the base I have here, with the plus I mean, initially it was 4,700 milliamps on the S23 plus. Now it's 4,900. So it's 200 milliamps increased in battery size. And then also the screen size has been increased from 6.6 to 6.7. And then now we mentioned that usually when they launch the S23, the S series, they pack every specifications onto the Ultra. Now it's good to note that the screen of the resolution screen of this S24 Plus is also quite HD display, just like the way the S24 Ultra is now. So it's safe to know that I'm getting a device lesser than S24 Ultra, but then I still have some qualities on the S24 Ultra. Yeah.
Got you. So Michael, if anything at all, I mean, you've made it clear which one your favorite is, but between the S24, the base, and then the plus, what should someone consider if they want to choose any of them, not the Ultra, before they can make a decision to take or to buy any? Yeah.
Okay. So I think that some people, they just like devices that can easily fit into their palm. That's really key for some people.
An example.
Yeah, so if you're that type of person, yes, I mean S24 base is ideal for you. It would do everything you want it to do for you. And like Hassan said, we release devices, but we pack them with the same features across board. Of course, the Ultra is always distinct. If for nothing at all, it has the S Pen to distinguish it from the base and the plus.
Okay.
But with the base doesn't have the pen, but it has almost every other thing. He spoke about battery being improved in the plus, and it's also been improved in the base as well. So
if you are the type who doesn't really like to hold big screens, I'm one
this
one
is this is
person
really
like
key.
that.
Yeah.
Just in case you are listening to us and you have the chance, you can just hop onto Facebook or YouTube at Joy 99.7 FM. We are just showcasing the different devices as we speak about them. And what we have showing on the screen right now is the S24. That's just the base. Okay, so that's just about it. Someone who doesn't really like to hold big screens, then it's fine for them to just go for the base. That's the smaller size. But in terms of features, the S24 and then the S24 Plus, everything is the same. I mean, apart from battery and
Very,
different
very
things we spoke
similar.
about.
I mean, when we even look at the camera, which is very, very main for a lot of people, distinguishing the S24 camera from the Ultra, we can see that the Ultra has it has a quad camera setup, but the base has a triple camera setup.
Yeah.
Yes, and both lenses are of different megapixels and all that. Of course, the Ultra is the one that sports the 200 megapixel sensor, which is what we also use to what a lot of people call the moonshots. Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have that here as well, but you have the telephoto, you have the ultra wide, and then you have the main sensor, you have the main camera sensor. Yeah. So those are also key differences.
Okay. So with the launch, I think one of the things that really stood out is the Galaxy AI, and I think we already started talking about it. So I'm just going to give Hassan the opportunity to just delve deeper into it. The live translator, you already started talking about that. So if you can throw more light on it. I am Spanish, and trying to do business with someone who is probably a German. How do I go about that? Yes, Hassan.
So with the live translation, the live translation is not only on voice calls. We have what we call the chat assist. That's also on text messages. So I for one, I'm not the type that like to talk long on phone.
Okay.
I prefer texting. So it's actually good to know that we also have that on the on social media too as well. But with the live translate, how it works is the person who has the the S24 Ultra or the S24 series, I can actually select the language. So let's say you speak Spanish, like you said. I'll select me as English and then select you as Spanish.
Yeah.
Now, when I start talking, you don't hear me in English. All you hear is the Spanish version of me. And then, someone raised the question is that can you change the voice to maybe a male voice or a female voice just to differentiate? Maybe I'm talking as a guy, but then you are hearing me as a female. Sounds weird. You can actually do that.
That option is there.
Yeah,
Okay.
so then you can do that. And then the cool thing here is also transcribes the conversation you are having. So even after the call, you'll be able to track the conversation you had with the person. Sometimes you have a conversation with somebody, later the person will come to you and say, I didn't say this.
Yes.
But then you have evidence on your device to actually show that this is the conversation we had. You understand? And then I also like to touch this. Mobile phone has migrated. We started from the feature phones, we went to the smartphones,
Yes.
and then now we're in the AI world now. So
Exactly.
basically, AI is here to stay, and we'll start seeing more of them in our devices and then in our phones. Who knows? You might see the next AI on an Apple device.
Oh, definitely. I
Exactly.
think we also copy. They will also copy, actually. Anyway, Michael, so we've spoken about the live translator.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the message assist. I think from the reviews and what I saw, it's something that is really interesting. Can we touch more on that?
Okay, so I would just like to add this before we proceed. So the translation feature on the S24, these are all offline. This is an offline feature. I remember during the Unpacked, a group of people were behind me and they were like, but you need internet to do these things and this is not new. We don't have data, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I mean, we've already thought of that. So when you first get the device, you need to download the language pack, right? And then once you move on from there with any language you want to use for your translation, it's done offline on
And I
the
learned
device.
13 different languages for starters.
It's actually more than 13.
Okay.
It's about 17.
Okay.
Yes, for starters.
Okay.
For starters, it's about 17. And so the chat assist there are times you are chatting with somebody, but these days social media has a lot of us trying to use shorthand in everything. Sometimes we forget who we are actually chatting with, and then you send you send the person a message using your shorthand. Then you realize that this is actually maybe my tutor or my professor, or I don't even know, but maybe somebody older. So with Chat Assist, it does two things. It gives you the option of what you're writing. You can actually get to see it in a number of ways. You can have the professional, you can have the social, so the less formal. There's so many of them.
So depending on who you are chatting with,
yes,
you can just choose.
You can
any
just
of them,
choose
and then
which
the
one
language.
exactly.
I think last week that's one of the
suits
things that we mentioned here for one of the productivity tools, which was Quillbot. And
Okay.
with that, you just put in the information that you want to send. It paraphrases for you to get it to a certain state that you want. I would say more formal. So with this, it gives you different options. If I know I'm chatting with just my girls, I can just go ahead and choose the option. If I know I'm chatting with my boss, as you mentioned, I
Yeah.
can choose okay.
Yes, exactly. It also has the translation feature, right, which is also offline. So and the Chat Assist works with the native messaging app, which is the Google RCS. It's just like WhatsApp. Um, when the other person on the other side is responding or sending you a message, you can actually see that somebody is typing and all that. And this is the native messaging app. So the translation on this is also offline, but of course to send your message, right? If it's the native, the Google, the Android messaging app requires data to work. It doesn't require your credits, your call credits. Yes. So if you have to send a message using that option, of course you need data to send, but you will not need data to translate whatever it is you are sending to the person. Yes. So I just need to make that distinction. And then it also works with social messaging apps like WhatsApp,
Yeah.
which as for WhatsApp, right now everybody's using WhatsApp, so it's also very handy. And before this native Chat Assist actually came on board, what most of us would do is you probably have a third party app somewhere, you go and copy, then you paste it somewhere
Like
and
that's
all
what I
that,
just said,
and when we began the conversation, these AI tools are supposed to make our lives easier. So for Samsung, Galaxy AI is not defined by what your phone can do, but it's more about how your phone can empower you, with tools to do what you do, and we empower you so that you can do these things quickly, no stress, so you can have more time to be more creative and also to do other things. So that's the main idea behind the whole AI tools.
So the use of our phones, we can use them to make ourselves one more productive and help us just use type well. Okay, we've spoken about the message assist, we've spoken about the live translate, the note assist. The note assist.
Yeah.
There are times that we go for meetings and you just see yourself typing whatever was discussed, and then you have the option to later probably check and refine them and send them out. But then Samsung from their Galaxy AI can do some amazing things with the Note Assist. Hassan, you can share more light on that.
Okay, so with the Note Assist, to there are subsets of it, some features. I'll give an example of one. So we have what the native voice recorder you have on your device.
Yes.
Now, if you're a Samsung person, you know that the voice recorder only just records your voice, and then that's it. And you can just save.
This one, you don't even have to be just a Samsung person.
You should know, yeah.
Any,
But then
yeah.
with this all new Galaxy AI feature, what happens is, imagine me having a conversation with you, and then I'm recording the conversation. The AI is able to detect the different voices in the recording. So after the recording, it gives you the option to transcribe them into text. And then once it converts them into text, you see the different speakers.
Like note taker in a
Note taker,
way.
exactly. So you see that this is speaker 1, which is me, speaker 2, that is you, speaker 3, that is Michael. And then the cool thing here is able to convert them into minutes, even give you headings, and then attendees. So it makes your job easier. There are some jobs out there where they hire you just to come and take minutes.
Yes, as like a secretary, most likely.
Exactly. So imagine you having this, your boss doesn't know that you have this device, and then the conversation is going on, and you have it there recording. After
Within a
that,
short time, like Prince said the last time, within a very short time, he just went ahead and did some magic for his boss.
exactly, your boss will be impressed. You go like, wow, but maybe he doesn't know what that's the feature you're actually using. And then we have what we call the summary, the AI summary. Now, I'm just giving you a scenario. I'm in an Uber car heading to work, and then I'm actually reading a long article on Joy FM. And maybe I don't have time. Once I know when I get to work, I don't have time to actually read the rest of the article.
Yes.
Now,
It's not even, sometimes not even, it's about the attention span for people these days.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then there's this cool feature on there, the Samsung's native internet app called the Summary. Once you tap on it, what happens is, regardless of how long the article is able to summarize it and then give you the key points in the article,
Yes.
which makes it easier to understand the whole overview of maybe whatever you are reading. You understand? And then, like Michael said, the phone is rather supposed to make your life easier, because life is already hard. You understand?
These are features of the phone that people can use to make their lives easier, like you're saying. If you're a student, if you're working, if you're a CEO, I mean, the whole idea is that depending on what you have for a mobile device, you can make things a lot easier for you. And one of them is the note assist that we have just been talking about. Sometimes you can just take some notes, and like you said, you can use it, summarize out the points for you. You can see the key points. And even probably you're a student, if you have access to this, you're probably doing research, you can just use the summary, get details of whatever it is that you have to read, if it's literature review, whatever it is. So these are some of the things that the Galaxy AI is going to be helping people with. And one thing I liked was that it's not just going to be for the S24 series. They are looking at rolling out later in the year onto different series.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's just look at the AI powered photo editing. Like, you would like to take that?
Yes. So actually, that for me is my favorite AI feature. The generative. So some few years back, we brought object erase, which was an AI feature where, sometimes you are taking a picture, somebody just people find themselves in your picture, they're not supposed to be in there. You can actually erase them out, right? But then we decided to take it up a notch further. So now we're giving you the opportunity to move things around in your pictures. So maybe you're taking a picture, you feel like, okay, you don't like the position of a particular item or object in the picture, you want to move it around. This is what the generative edit allows you to do. So what the AI does is, it would allow you to pick whatever object or thing you want to move about, reposition it, and then the AI would recreate the image. Because when you move it from point A to point B, right now point A is blank, is empty, so the AI needs to recreate it, put something in point A or fill point A, just to make it so that nobody would actually even notice, that something has actually happened. And I really like this feature a lot. I think a lot of people can be creative with this, but for those who could be worried about people using it to do other things, we have developed a watermark, so that if you use this feature to edit, there's a watermark, and even beyond the watermark, we also have the metadata also as part of the image, because somebody could even actually take the watermark out and try to
doing deep fake things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how different is this feature? The way you're saying is your favorite. How different is it? I don't know whether you know about the Pixel and having that feature also when it comes to photo editing.
Okay, where you could move items, you could move something.
Yes, you may have different people there, and you can just get some different things like the best take and things of the sorts. How I just want to with this editing and that.
If there was a way, I would have demonstrated, but I think this one actually goes a step further. So I think the simplest way of demonstrating was they use maybe somebody trying to perform a slam dunk, right? And then the space between the rim and then where the person actually jumped from, there was actually a wider space there. So what they did was they just edited the picture, moved the person from where the person was actually leapt from, right? And then they move the person further or closer to the rim. You understand? I don't know if the Pixel is able to do this, but of course there are third-party apps that can do this. But what makes this unique is that now it is native. You don't need to pick it from a third-party app and do anything.
Right on the phone that you're using, you have access to that.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Adobea Biritwum on Geek Squad, coming live to you from Joy 99.7 FM. Today we have been looking at the Samsung event Unpacked that happened just last week, Wednesday, talking about the 3 main devices that were launched, the S24, S24 Plus, and the S24 Ultra. And I have with me in the studio Hassan and Michael, tech experts, and so far we've been having a discussion on it. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. We'll be getting into some more details. One of the things that was mentioned was the 7-year software update, and we'd like to know what they mean by this. But before we do that, just stick with us. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, Ma, the way you're always getting alerts these days, I won't be surprised to hear that you have gotten a Momo for Business account by my next visit.
Oh, I'm already on Momo for Business.
Since when?
Since. Now, it's easy to apply for a merchant SIM. All you need is a registered MTN number, your business certificate, your Ghana card, and you are good to go.
Sir.
You think you are the only one who knows what's up, eh? Look, I just dialed *5051#, selected register, and the region I was requesting the SIM from, and waited for my SMS with my reference number. You can even go online at momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh and complete the details for an even better experience.
Hey, Grandma Momo.
Sign up for Momo for Business the easy and simple way. Just visit momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh or dial *5051# and follow the prompts and be on your way to owning a Momo business account today for free. MTN.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion.
Thank you for sticking with us. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Today we have been looking at the different Samsung devices that were launched just last week, Wednesday. And I have with me in the studio Hassan and Michael, tech experts. We've been talking about it and unpacking it for you as well. The different benefits that you can have should you decide to get any of the devices. That's the S24, S24 Plus, or the S24 Ultra. Before we went on the break, we spoke about the possible updates that we have, but before we get into the updates, there's one feature that we'll just like to touch on and then explain more, and I think that is cool. We already have some things working like that already in terms of searching with different pictures on Google, but then with this new launch we have the circle to search, and we'd like to just explain what it is so that people can be aware. Hassan.
Okay, so as Michael said, the AI photo assist was his favorite. Circle to search is actually my favorite.
That's your favorite.
Exactly, because I'm always, I'm a sneakerhead. I'm always on social media trying to find a new sneaker. And then sometimes you go online, you realize that an influencer is wearing some outfit, and then there's no brand tag. I mean, they intentionally do that, you understand? And then back then, what we used to do is you take a screenshot, you go and put it in Google Lens for it to generate where to get it from. Now, what we are saying is right from the app, you just press the home button, it just works its magic, and then you just circle whatever object you want to search on. And then it will pop up. It won't skip.
When you say right from the app, wherever you saw the picture.
Wherever you saw the picture.
Yes.
It won't skip you to a different, redirect you to a different app. All it does is it just pops up and then gives you an information of the product you're actually looking for. And then it doesn't only work on maybe attire, it actually works on maybe landmarks. It also works on monuments, like popular monuments. I think that's what was exactly. So maybe I could be having a conversation with you, and then you tell me maybe I'm at, let's just say I'm at maybe a spot in maybe on Osu. You mentioned the name. I don't know where it is. once I circle to search, it will give me the name of the location and then the name of the place and then even the location. You understand? So it's not only limited to finding brands to shop for, but it also works on monuments to give you more information about them. You understand? So to me, it's actually one of my personal favorites.
So the picture, whatever you want to search,
Yes.
be it a brand like you're saying or a specific place, all you do is just circle the area that you want to search, and then you're good to go.
And it also works with text as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great. So we have the circle to search on the new device that has been launched. But I asked earlier, and I think I mentioned it as one of the things that is going to be done. All these features will not just be limited to the S24 series.
Good.
So the plan is to roll it out
in the first half. Well, actually, within the first half of this year.
Okay, so who are those who would not have? Because I know Apple did it to some of their users where they couldn't update their iOS.
Oh, okay, so I would just like to say that it's not so much about who won't have it, because every year the demand that is placed on these mobile devices actually increase. That is why we actually need to always improve on the chipsets. This year we are using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Last year was the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. I mean, the test scores are there. This chip actually even is scoring higher than the A17 chip from the other competition. It's actually the first time, or probably one of the first time in a very long time, that the Android test scores for this chipset is actually very high. So for devices that will not see this, it's not because it is intentional, but it's more about the hardware of those devices not being able to meet up and actually have or handle like these features.
I think for that we understand. So we
Exactly.
just want to know those who are carrying certain kinds of phones who would not have access to it, so that at least if they are making up their mind to go and buy the higher ends, then they do so.
Okay, so S23, S23 FE, Flip 5, Fold 5. For now, they are likely to see it in the first half of the year.
Okay.
I think in the second half of the year we'll get more information of other devices that could be added to this list.
That's understandable. So we cannot talk about the different updates. They mentioned that there's going to be a 7-year update. We just want to get more details, because already it doesn't mean that people already do updates on their phones. With this specific thing, like the way it was mentioned, as if there is something special about it.
Okay.
What is it about?
Okay, so I think some years ago, when we first started, when I say we, I mean when the company first started, Samsung, operating system updates was probably limited to 2 years or 3 years, and then security updates maybe around the same 2 or 3 or maybe even 4. And then for the past 3 or 4 years now, operating system updates has been increased to 4 years, meaning that if your device came out with, let's say, Android 10, right, you would see Android 11, or you'll be able to update to Android 11, Android 12, Android 13, and Android 14. So that's 4 years. And then for security updates, you could get 5 years of it. So that is 1 year after your OS updates, right? Now, the 7 years, what it actually means is that, and starting from S24 series, it means that the current devices that are now coming out with Android 14 are going to see 7 years of operating system updates. So from Android 14 plus 7 all the way to Android 21.
Which means the hardware will no more be a limitation, at least for 7 years.
Exactly, and actually it's actually very good that you put it that way, because when that was announced, that was the only thing that I got from it. What is being said here is these devices are tough to last you 7 years, and like you said, it's not going to be a limitation anymore.
Would you like to use your phone for 7 years?
I mean, we are giving you the
know.
option, yeah. I mean, if it still does everything you want it to do, and you are not,
you can give that out and get another higher end
yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So for 7 years, you'll be able to upgrade the different OS that comes
coming out,
with the phone. S24, S24 Plus and then the S24 Ultra. I'm sure some people are thinking about it. What could probably be the prices of these phones? And definitely we will be talking about the prices. But before we do that, Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. Every Tuesday we share with you some quick tech fixes. So why not take a listen to the quick tech fixes? Right after that, we'll be getting into the different prices of the phones that have been launched.
Hello there, my name is Michelle Ajakum and I bring you some tech quick fixes and tips here on Geek Squad. I know that you always use your emails during work and all of that, but here is a trick you should know. You might be adding links to your email wrongly. When sending an email and you want to add a link, don't just copy and paste the link into the email. Instead, use the Insert Link tab on the bottom bar of your email window. Let me show you how. 1. Write your email in such a way that the reader will know where the link is. For instance, use words like find the document here. 2. Highlight the text that you want to attach to the link. For instance, highlight the word here in the email. 3. Go to the bottom bar of the email window and click on the insert link that is the pin-like button, or just click on Ctrl and K. 4. A window will open, then copy and paste the link into the window and click OK. You will now see that the highlighted text will become a hyperlink, and that's it. Now you know how to insert a link properly in an email.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Just before we went, we spoke about the 3 main devices that have been launched by Samsung just last week, Wednesday. And I am sure some of you are probably wondering the different prices for them, especially when they are launched like this. I know that people have to pre-order until the end of the month before. Yeah. So what are the prices? We'll start first with the 24, the S24, then the S24 Ultra, and then the S24 Plus.
Okay.
Who help us here? Michael, what are we looking at for the prices?
Okay, so for the S24, we have it in 2 variants. We have the 8GB and then the 128GB version, which is going for 9,999 Ghana cedis. We have 8GB RAM and 256GB storage, which is 10,999 Ghana cedis.
So these prices, are they just the direct conversion of the dollar prices, or these are the prices on the market for Ghana, if anything at all?
Yes, these are the prices on the market for Ghana.
Okay.
Yes. For the S24 Plus, we also have it in 2 variants. We have the 8GB RAM and 256 storage, which is going for 12,499 Ghana cedis, and then 8GB and 512 gigabyte storage going for 13,999. And then for the Ultra, we have it in 3 variants. We have the 12GB, 256GB going for 15,999. That's 15,999. The 12 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes also going for 17,599. And then for the first time, we have the 1 terabyte version, also with 12 gigabytes of RAM, going for 20,599 Ghana cedis.
I wanted to say cool 20,000, but it's not that cool. It depends on who wants to get it. But what is very apparent is the memory size.
Exactly.
That will determine whether or not you pay for a higher variant or otherwise.
Yeah.
So Samsung, we have looked at the devices that have been launched. What do you think is probably the next big thing for them? Because we've come out with Galaxy AI. Hassan.
So, earlier I made mention of the chapters mobile phones have gone through. So we started from the feature, the smart, and now we are now in the AI world now. And then from the look of things, AI is here to stay. You understand? We have hit our peak in terms of mobile devices, from the bar to the foldable devices. So the next thing is AI. So we are hoping that we get to a stage where you don't even have to touch your phones anymore, and then
Sit down.
maybe you have a contact lens that has everything, and then an earphone that actually you can just communicate and then be having video calls with somebody just with a contact lens. So yeah, who knows?
Everything is possible.
So, exactly.
Once we think about it.
It.
Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Hassan, but I also think that because the operating system that we keep updating on our devices every year, they keep improving, bringing new things to us. It means that the hardware will also always need to be improved, and so devices in the near future are going to have improved hardware to be able to match up to the current demands of software that is out there. In terms of looks, it's really hard to tell right now. I really don't know. I would like to see a hologram phone. So if I call you, I should see your hologram. You would just pop out of the phone or something, and then I should see you and talk to you. That's what I would want to see. That's where I would want mobile phones to get to in the next few years.
And this is all for Samsung.
I mean, it will definitely cut across. I mean, once the technology
different
comes out,
tech.
exactly, everybody else will grab it.
Interesting. So we've looked at the 3 different devices that were launched, and then we have looked at the different prices. And the amazing thing is mainly on the Galaxy AI, the live translator. I know a friend who traveled, and one of the things that she kept saying was a challenge for her was being able to speak. She was in Paris for some time, so being able to speak French, and she had to be using her Google Translator from time to time. But I mean, with this feature, not only are you able to do that, but even when you have phone calls, you have the option to be able to just speak and then hear the other person in your language, which makes it a lot easier. And as I mentioned last week, we spoke about different productivity tools, and with the productivity tools that we mentioned, one of the things that we said was sometimes you can go for meetings and then take notes and all that. Later you may probably have to sit down or get another third-party AI to do some corrections in there before you can share. But then we have note assist. You're able to summarize whatever information that you have taken, and with that you have the option to just get the key points and share it out with people. So this is also one outstanding thing that we would have to look out for, and for the fact that it's not just going to be limited to the S24 series. So if someone is at home and probably they have the S23 series, they just know that it's only a matter of time. They'll also have all these features rolled out for them, and they'll have access to it, which means it's a good thing that has been done. And hopefully we can have it on the different devices, not only just limited to Samsung. As I said, others can also copy it. I mean, it's technology, so it's not just about copying, but we are all researching and then advancing and improving on whatever features that we have done. It's been interesting. So I'm just going to give us 30 seconds wrap up, our final words for the different discussions that we have had today. I'll start with you, Hassan, and then Michael, you can come in.
So the truth of the matter is the whole stereotypical mentality about AI making us lose our jobs. The truth of the matter is AI is actually here to make our lives easier and then actually help us be more productive, like you said. So let's embrace it. You know, if you don't know anything about AI, you should at least take a course on AI. You know, learn a thing or two just to stay ahead of the trend.
I like that. I think 2 weeks, that's what we said. This year, at least for everyone's resolution or goal, they should learn something about tech. I like that you mentioned that. Michael?
Yeah, so I think just continuing from what Hassan said, AI was big last year. AI is going to be bigger this year. And now is the time to actually enhance ourselves with, knowledge about AI so that we can also get a piece of the pie. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Now is the time to enhance yourself. Learn something about tech. AI, different things are happening when it comes to artificial intelligence, and not it's not just that it's there to, like the way people are saying you're going to take their jobs and things like that. There are good sides of it, and we just have to be abreast with what's happening and then make the best of it. It's been your girl Adobea Biritwum. Thank you for sticking with us. Up next is news